Alcatraz Island, known as the Rock, it once housed some of the most notorious criminals in U.S. history. Over the years, 44 confirmed deaths have occurred on the small island, with 5 additional prisoners presumed dead. Their bodies were never recovered. That means during the 29 years as a federal penitentiary, someone died every 7 months. That's a lot of ghost stories for such a small island. Welcome back to American Travel Fun. I'm Chuck, your host, and tonight, we're checking out the haunting mysteries of Alcatraz. Stories of restless spirits, strange sightings, and things that simply cannot be explained. But before we get started, let me ask you this. What could drive someone to the brink of madness? Or worse, to death? You'll find out soon enough. But first, let's explore the haunted heart of this isolated prison that earned the nickname Alcatraz. This is cell 14D. Many believe it to be the most haunted place on the island, reserved for the worst of the worst. This solitary confinement cell left prisoners completely isolated. No light, no warmth, nothing but cold. Unforgiving darkness. Even the toughest inmates lost their sanity here. But in the 1940s, something happened in this cell that goes beyond human understanding. One night, a prisoner was heard screaming for his life. He claimed that a creature with glowing eyes was trying to kill him. But no one came to help. The guards had ignored his cries for help and had gone on with their night. By morning, his lifeless body was found, strangled. Authorities blame another inmate, but the truth was far more chilling. Visitors today still report sudden drops in temperature, the feeling of being watched, and an overwhelming sense of dread when they step inside the cell. Could it be the spirit of the tormented prisoner, trapped here for eternity, or something else? I don't know. Even some park rangers refused to enter the cell. When authors Richard Weiner and Nancy Osborne visited, they felt strange vibrations and tingling sensations in their hands, while psychic Michael Curie claimed to have seen a small man with a shaved head, recounting how he was beaten and left to die in solitary. But the most terrifying story comes from the renowned ghost hunter, Richard Sine. During his investigation, he locked himself in cell 12D, where the evil presence is said to reside. As the steel door closed, he claims to have felt icy fingers wrap around his neck. A psychic who had gone with him saw disturbing visions of dismembered men. And the horrors of Alcatraz are not confined to the past. Today, visitors are still reporting the feeling of intense cold spots in D Block, especially in cells 12 and 14. Some say they can feel the emotions of long-gone prisoners. These cell blocks house the infamous criminals of Alcatraz. Guards, prisoners, and paranormal investigators all have reported hearing unexplained sounds, from footsteps, crying, and even laughing. One visitor even claimed to see a ghostly figure of an inmate standing at the end of a corridor. As they approached the figure vanished as though it had never been there. Then there's the Lighthouse, the first one built on the West Coast and the site of an unsolved mystery. James A. King, the first lighthouse keeper, was found dead under suspicious circumstances. Was it murder or something more? Supernatural, perhaps? Some late-night visitors report seeing a faint figure standing at the top of the lighthouse, watching them silently. Some believe it could be James King, forever keeping watch over Alcatraz. On especially foggy nights, some park rangers and visitors have claimed seeing an old lighthouse suddenly appear, accompanied by an eerie whistling sound and a flashing green light that circles the island before vanishing just as quickly as it came. Here's a legend with a lighter twist. Al Capone, the notorious mobster, spent his final years on Alcatraz, and to pass the time, Capone would retreat to the showers, not to hide, but to play the banjo. Yeah, that's right. Al Capone was a banjo enthusiast. Who knew? Some people say you can still hear the faint strum of a banjo echoing the halls. Is it the ghost of Capone himself, forever doomed to play in isolation, just like he lived his final years here? Or is it just a figment of everyone's imagination? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the Butcher. Abe Maldowitz, better known as the Butcher, was a feared hitman, infamous for his brutal killings. In 1942, he met a savage end right here in Cell Block C. Since his death, countless people have felt a dark presence in this cell block. Paranormal investigators report cold drafts, whispers, and sightings of shadowy figure lurking just out of sight. So is it Maldowitz's violent past that keeps him tethered to this place, or could it be Alcatraz itself, is a prison for the tormented souls that are trapped here. When psychic Sylvia Brown visited Cell Block C, she sensed a violent presence. She described a tall man with a bald head and small beady eyes. Ex-convict Leon Thompson then revealed a chilling truth. Leon Thompson said, "I remember the butcher. He was a hitman with Murder Incorporated before they caught him. Another prisoner killed him right here in the laundry room. And prison records do confirm it. Was indeed murdered in the laundry room. And according to some, it would seem that his spirit never left." The butcher isn't the only spirit haunting Alcatraz. Staff and visitors have reported a range of unexplained occurrences. Chains rattling in empty corridors, phantom smells of smoke in a laundry room with no source, cell doors closing on their own, disembodied voices and screams echoing through the hospital ward, and a constant feeling of being watched. One park ranger said, "There are some places in the prison where the hair on the back of your neck stands up. You can feel the history, the pain, the desperation. It's like the walls themselves are trying to tell you something." And another visitor had stated, "I was walking down one of the cell blocks when I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. I turned around and there was no one there. But I could have sworn I heard someone whisper, 'Help me.'" Even Warden Johnson, who didn't believe in ghosts, had a chilling experience. During a tour, he and his group heard an unmistakable sound of a woman sobbing. The cries seemed to have come from the walls themselves. And just as they stopped, an icy wind swept through the group. Back in 1992, Alcatraz was featured on the popular TV show Sightings. Staff confirmed many of the stories that I'm telling you tonight. From crashing sounds, running footsteps, unearthly screams, and that unnerving feeling of being constantly watched. Psychic investigator Peter James walked the halls and felt the presence of restless spirits. And in his words, confirming that Alcatraz is indeed a home to many who have never left. In his investigation, James believed he connected with spirits trapped in time, prisoners who have relived their final days over and over, caught in a loop of suffering. He said what he found was more than residual energy. He claimed to have communicated with these spirits. Some were desperate to tell their stories, while others were filled with rage, forever bound to Alcatraz. Alcatraz. It was meant to be a place of punishment, isolation, and confinement. And while the prison may have closed in 1963, for some, Alcatraz remains a place in which they can never escape. So, what do you think? Do you believe in ghosts, or is Alcatraz just a relic of the past? Some say these stories are just urban legends, exaggerated over time. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. I think they're very interesting, and probably some can be explained, while others, you just have no explanation. Do I believe in ghosts? Not really. But I do believe that there are unexplainable things until we can explain them. And I find this stuff fascinating. So let me know what you guys think. Have you heard of any really creepy, weird stories about Alcatraz that I missed that you think should be here? Should I make another video about Alcatraz? Because there's a ton, I'm telling you, there is a ton of haunted stories about Alcatraz. Or do you prefer another place in the US? Let me know down in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and until next time, thank you very much for watching and have fun, guys.